All right, welcome to another episode from the Chart Reader. So this is a three that I do love covering, and I'll be honest, I hope you see what I see, all right? I can't quite call this a juicy setup just yet, all right? Obviously, there's some really interesting and good things happening, but for me, it's definitely more about confirmation than believing this one's juicy. But yeah, there's definitely a lot to like on NVOS. And truth be told, I was so worried that there was a lot of bad about to happen. So happy to see what we're seeing here, but need one more day for sure. Tuesday will be king here, okay? Looking at MBOT next, man, I will be honest, okay? First off, I appreciate the viewer request that got me to know MBOT. I for real had no idea about the stock. I am not a big fan of telling people where my money's at, but I texted a number of homies to look at MBOT. And MBOT, it has done well, all right? So we will talk about why it did well and then what it looks like it will do. With MVIS, man, I'm going to give some opinions. And again, you know I've been really honest about how little I know about the company. And I think everyone's been really, cool about giving me information as well as, hey, honestly, correcting me where I've been just ignorant, for lack of words, right? So I'm gonna give my thoughts, and it really is gonna go to the offering, and I'm gonna say it again. I liked the offering. I wish they didn't take it back. I'm not a big fan of the flip flop, and I'll give my opinions and obviously talk about the technicals there. But yeah, I like talking about these three for sure, and I'm excited to. But before we do, what are we gonna do? Same thing we always do, right? We're gonna take a look at the daily and the weekly to see how these things are setting up short term. We have our 5 moving averages. There are horizontal support and resistance lines, as well as these diagonal trend lines I do draw manually myself. And then when we're done up here, we'll use the MACD, RSI, and volume as our lower indicators. Hey, really quickly, if you can please subscribe to the channel, share this thing on the internet, like the video, comment good or bad. Look, if you're going to disagree with me, I'm not going to hate on you. I would love to have a good convo, right? But end of the day, anything you can do really does help me out. But seriously, just being here and giving me your time, way more than I can ask for already, all right? So look, let's get into NVOS. And the real big story that caught most people's eye, when did this happen, was on the 6th, all right? They did some $40 million deal. I very much said, hey, I think this is a fake trap right here. And obviously you could see what happened, right? I think we have seen the worst of the trap and that may be about to start to do what people thought would happen here, all right? So first and foremost is this downtrend right here, right? So I'm taking the corner of this guy right there, hitting the corner of this guy, and really all I'm gonna do is extend it, right? So maintaining, again, that corner, you can see Friday not only gets over all the moving averages, actually gets us over this downtrend. Look, most of the time I would say juicy setup, juicy setup, juicy setup, right? The problem is too many moving averages. All right, I am never one to underestimate how hard it is to break out of this. Okay, you can very much go up, have a really good like day 2, maybe even 3, and then all of a sudden just come back down almost unexpectedly too. Like that's a good MACD. All right, it's actually, I wish I could see more decimals, but like look, I actually see the green peaking. Yeah, you can see when you zoom in, and we're so close to the 0 line. We're actually probably like negative 0.0001 or something, right? I'm making it up, right? But we're close, right? That's a good RSI. That's a good distance between. It actually looks like that's diverging a little bit too. Yeah, we're going further and further away from that from the like line right there, right? And 53 is a super low number, and volume's been getting better. We're just so close to breaking that fit. Like things look good here. Things look good here. I'm telling you, I hate moving out. We have 4 of the 5 lines just so close, right? So, man, but look, this thing really needs to get as close to 16 cents as it can. All right, I basically need like 159, 15.9, 15.8. Like I need to believe that we're cracking this, because look, if we can break this, man, there's not a lot of resistance, right? Green, 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 hard red. Green, 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 hard red. Green, 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 green is potentially what we want. And I mean, again, I haven't talked about this gap fill in a really long time, and the 200 moving average is now basically coming to the gap fill borderline, for lack of words, right? So I think it's really, really premature to have dollar dreams. That's a very, very hard thing to stress. But the 200's creeping. It's now this close, right? So, and what does that mean to me? I think this is doable, and look. That's a 2x run if we can get into the 30s, right? These lines I do think are going to be a little difficult, but truth be told, I mean, there's just so much, just like immediate up, immediate down, immediate up, immediate down. If we can go up, even here, immediate up, immediate down, like we're well above this horizontal. This is all just red. Like there's a lot of reason to believe that going from 15 to 17 to 22 could be an easy move, actually. It's going to start with closing at almost 16 on Tuesday. That is what needs to happen, all right? But NVOS definitely doing better than I thought. And again, where did I think? I thought we were going to lose the moving average and die. I'm so glad it was only a wick of 12 instead of going down, because 11 and under is actually all-time low. So, man, again, the weekly, we are over the 8, we're over the 20. We make a good run. We use the 20 as a bounce. It looks like the 8 and the 20 want to go up. And it looks like, again, there's a lot to like on NVOS. This could be the move. Watch NVOS for sure, okay? MBOT. Oh my goodness. We are now knocking on the door of the 200 moving average. Clearly, we were well over the 200 moving average at one point in the day, right? So, hey, someone threw it in the comments. I'm pretty sure it was only in paradise, but I'm not 100%. But nonetheless, look, Friday's a long weekend break, right? Like Monday is off. So I always consider Monday a losing day, right? I go into Monday expecting people to sell hard, right? I think when you add a long weekend, it just kind of magnifies that. So I don't necessarily know if this was some sort of reaction to anything serious or if it was nothing more than just a long weekend sell-off. But end of the day, MACD still looks all right. End of the day, RSI still looks all right. RSI is actually still in a relatively healthy place. And I mean, volume actually is the closest to the 50 moving average in a pretty long, I got to like get rid of that one big outlier, right? But we're close to the 50, and if we're going to break the 50 moving average volume, now is the time to do it, because that'll take us over the 100, right? One of the things I talked about was this golden cross going to look as good as this one? So far it is. It's not like it crossed and is just kind of it looks like it wants to keep going up, right? So literally so far there's nothing telling me we're going to do anything poorly here, right? It's all about breaking 330. It's sitting at 329 right now. 330, if we can break it, that'll put us over all 5 moving averages. And honestly, $5 is still the line. I don't think I'm going to draw something right there. I think it's arguable I could, but I don't think that's a monster plateau. There's a little bit here, a little bit there. Maybe I'll regret not putting something around 4.25, but yeah, I think from 3.25 to 5. Let's do 3.25 to 4.25, because you know what? That is a big swing, and I can just see a natural sell-off happen there. On top of the fact, like we're at the bottom of that, top of that, and we have a little bit of a horizontal. I think 407 might be something worth drawing. Okay, a little bit lower than that 425, but yeah, I like it. MBOT's still looking legit. I will say that. Where are we? Again, at this point, it's saying that we want to at least come to 350, 360, right? Like we have broken the 8, we have confirmed, we've broken the 20, we've confirmed. We should come to the 50. We even tested the 50. Like, that's still a really nice MACD. That's still a really nice RSI. That's still really low. Honestly, again, I think $5 is, I think we're going to take the 50 and go to the 100 at 5 is really what this thing's looking at. MBOT is looking badass, and I'm loving it. And again, I love the 8 moving average. Let me just say it one more time, right? Big monster move. 8 doesn't really hold, but look, I would say that the 20 and the 50, both of these lines, but really I'm going to emphasize the 20, just kind of the wick, right? Takes it back, we're back over, and right here was the bounce that I love. Like we just kind of can't go. We hit the 8 and we take off. You know what I mean? So I love me the 8 when it's my friend. I obviously hate it when it's not, right? So Very good right there. My wife just sneezed in the background. I'm going to give her a bless you on this video. So we're going to move to MVIS. So with MVIS, listen, you know I'm not a long investor. I know that there are a lot of longs that watch my video. So my comments here are more from experience of other stocks than they are my MVIS specific comments, all right? But I said the day it happened that I didn't mind the offering. I said the next day, I normally don't cover stocks the day after, but I covered it again when they removed the offering. I think a lot of people were really excited. I actually said I wasn't excited, right? And then I think Friday just kind of goes back to it. And here's what I don't understand. And if I can get a little bit of help, I would love it. I basically see that they removed the public offering, but they basically sounds like they closed a private offering. All right. That's how I read it. What I don't know is, one, let me know if that's wrong, please. From there, what I don't know is, assuming that's right, were the numbers the same? Like, was the strike of the private one, the one that did close, the same as the strike of the public one? Because I think it wasn't. I think I saw that the public offering was closer to 75 million and the private one was a little closer to 45 million. Okay. You know, I don't know how I feel about that. I don't, you know what I mean? Because it goes back to my view of an offering. And again, I'm not saying that this is like the 1000% correct way, but when I make good swings, I bank it. And it's funny because someone was like, hey, don't worry about 8. We're going to run a 15. And I get it. Like 7x sounds way more than 4x. But to go from 2 to 8, man, you got to bank a little bit of that, right? And I just feel like MVIS should have done the bigger bank, taken the public offering, taken the short-term hit, come down to here, bounced off the lines and flown again. That's really what I would have loved to see. And I think, again, in my opinion, that like and let me go back to my last video. The last video I talked about the fact that, hey, look, I can tell that the market liked the reversal of the offering, but we didn't break the 20. And we better break the 20 on Friday. Otherwise, like, I don't believe it, right? And you can see we actually fell lower than we did on Wednesday, right? Wednesday closes right here at 1460, right down here. We're obviously 10 cents below that, right? So it again makes me think we're coming to the 50. I'll be honest, I actually now think we're coming down to one of these two. Do I think we're going to lose these two? I still don't. I think these two are stacked way too tight. But what I don't know is if we're going to start going a little horizontal on these three. Because again, we have actually kind of seen it on the stock do it before. It gets stuck in these clusters, actually falls down, comes back, falls down, comes back, happens to break, right? I feel like we might fall into this and then just kind of stay in this. Again, I might be wrong. We'll watch it together, right? But one thing I've said is when things don't look good, I'm not here to pretend that they magically might turn around, right? Like, that's not a good MACD. Like, it looks like there's still more pain happening because I'm actually seeing the red line want to curve down, right? Like we were here, we are now clearly sloping down. So I can see this red guy curving for a bit as the green goes down. Same with this thing, right? Like, what was a good climb up is kind of starting to look a little bit like this. And I don't know, you know, we're obviously a little bit higher up from where this one happened, right? So I don't know if we're going to come all the way back down to here. Maybe we'll even come down to here. But again, even a fall from like 50 to 30 could still, like I said, bring us in here. So MVIS, I'm worried. And honestly, I think $3 is becoming a little more realistic than breaking 608, because breaking 608 is going to put us back over the 8. And I'm not sure. And it's something I say on so many videos. Green, 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 green is a really easy red, 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 red. So a lot needs to happen right here. This is our only plateau between just an escalator right up and an elevator right down. You know what I mean? So, and give or take, the 50 looks like it's basically going to come here relatively soon, like maybe around here, right? Maybe at the bottom instead of the middle where I have it, right? But man, this cannot lose 370. If it loses 370, I think it's going to be a hard fall to 3. I think that's a great way to end this. Not a great way, because obviously it's bad news, but that is what I think. Look, again, a lot of pressure on this line right here. A lot of pressure. It's basically the 8 on the weekly, and then otherwise we're going to come, I do believe, all the way down to the 3, which is the 20 here. Maybe the 50 does hold it. 346. Where's 346 at? Is that you? Interesting, that's you. All right, maybe 346 holds, but yeah, I think 3. There's a bit to be worried about, but I'm curious to hear people's thoughts on the offerings, and I'm actually curious to see if my views that the offering should have stayed. I think a lot of people were really optimistic that Friday was going to do the opposite of this, and I'm curious if anyone just kind of like sees my offering opinions in a different light given what Friday brought. Like, I'm curious. And again, hey, I'm not here to hate. I'm not here to bring fear. You know that. I'm here trying to be as unbiased as I can and let these colorful lines do what they do, right? So appreciate your time. Thank you.